What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Today's video, I am going to tell you guys a story of how I got started into trading and just the process of me getting into trading and going through the rough times and the good times of learning this big world. Recently, I just made myself a few shirts here. These aren't for sale or anything. I just personally made these for me because this is what I created and I am very proud of this. And I got the front here with my logo on it, and then I got the back. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it's just parabolic moves. Let me see, with the chart right there. But I figured I'd wear them when I make these videos for you guys, and while I'm out in public. You know, I like to show off what I've started. So let's get into this. So it all started back in 2017. I was at work and it was the middle of summer, just before July. And I knew about the stock market, but I didn't know really about penny stocks or small cap stocks. When I thought of the stock market, I thought of the stock market as you put your money into the stock market and you left it there for it to grow over time. And you would invest in companies like Facebook, Nike, Sprint, big companies like that. So I have a buddy that comes up to me at work and he goes, "Hey dude, did you hear about this new app that's out where it when you make a purchase in stores, it takes your change and it invests it in the market for you?" And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "That's pretty cool. What is it called?" And he didn't know the name of it at the time. So I started to Google it on my phone, and I seen apps like Robinhood pop up, and Robinhood was just really starting to really take off and explode at that time. And it wasn't the app that he was talking about. I forgot the name of the app he was talking about, but him mentioning that to me at that day was the start of a new beginning for me. When he mentioned that to me, I just took it and I ran with it. And here I am today. I started to look more and more and more into it, and I looked more into this Robinhood app. What's this Robinhood app? Free commissions, invest in stocks, you know, be a trader. So I downloaded the app, and when I downloaded the app, I deposited instantly. Just to try it out, I put in $300, and I'm looking at all these stocks, and I'm looking at all these cheap stocks that are like 25 cents, 50 cents, and it was just blowing my mind. And I'm thinking of all the calculations of it. You know, if I buy 1,000 shares of this at 25 cents, if it goes up $1, that's $1,000 or something like that. I was just blown away on how much money you could make buying these cheap penny stocks. And I loved it. So I started buying these stocks. It was the middle of summer. I came across the stock. I remember it was my very first stock. I don't remember the exact ticker name, but I remember what they did. What they did was they made blankets for newborn babies when they were born at the hospitals. And I was thinking to myself, you know, it's summertime. You know, they're not really going to use as much blankets right now. But when it comes to winter, that's when they're going to make a lot of blankets for these newborn babies. So I put a lot of money, not a lot, but a couple $100 into the stock. The stock was like 25 cents or something, or 30 cents. So I put like $300 into it, and then I started holding it. And then each day, the stock would lose like a penny. And every day it would go down a penny. I'm like, man, I'm losing money on this. And I would check it every single day, every hour, to see if it made like any moves or anything. And I said, you know what? I don't have the patience for this. I can't wait till winter to make money. So I sold it. I took like maybe, it was like a $25 or $30 loss. And then the second stock I got into, I remember the ticker name of this one. The ticker name, and it's still open today, and that ticker name is CEI, and it's Chamber Energy. And at that time, it was trading at 9 cents a stock. I deposited more money into my Robinhood account, and I got it up to like $600. I invested that whole $600 into this 9-cent stock. The next day, I woke up and it was actually up like 10 cents or 15 cents, and I was up like $300 or $400 on it. I can't remember the exact price, but I was blown away, and that just instantly hooked me. And I sold that for a profit. I said, you know what, now I can buy more of this. So I invested my whole portfolio into it again. Then I took a loss on it, and then I was waking up every single morning right when the market would open and trying to buy it and sell it within the first couple minutes of the market opening. So I said, all right, you know what? I need to get into this. I just can't be buying and selling these stocks randomly. There's got to be a strategy to this. So I started to really, really get into it. I love the idea of you could take your money and you can just trade these stocks. I found out about the day trader rule. You could only have 3 day trades a week. So I'm telling myself I can trade 3 times in 1 week, just in and out. So if I find something that's volatile, I can jump in on it and then quickly pull out of it. So then started the long process. Like, I really, really, really fell in love with this when I was just learning about all this. And like I said, I only knew about big cap stocks like Facebook, Twitter. I didn't really know anything about penny stocks. When I was learning about this, and when I first found out, I was 28 years old, going on 29. So it just goes to show, people out there who are totally, blind to like what's out there, because I was blind, to what was out there. I literally thought, and no one ever really explained to me what the stock market was. I only thought it was something that older people did or rich people did to, put their money. People who had a lot of money, that's where they put their money. That's what I originally thought. But I didn't know people did this for a living. I didn't know people, young people like me, even younger, were into it. It just completely blew my mind. And when I made that first few $100s, literally overnight, I was like, wow. I used to have to work a whole week to make what I just made. And that's what hooked me right there. I instantly thought it was going to be easy money. So I started to look more into it. I started to Google what's day trading, how to read charts. And the very first person I ran into when I was looking all of this up, and I'm about to pop them up, I'm sure all of you guys know who it is. And that is, well, I brought this up to show you guys, Robinhood at the time. Robinhood, before then, all they really had to offer was free commissions. They didn't have Bitcoin. They just had your basic Robinhood, and this is what it was right here. Just buy and trade stocks real quick. So the first person I ran into was Timothy Sykes. If you pretty much anywhere nowadays type in penny stocks or day trading, he's going to be the first ones that pop up because he is a really good businessman. I started watching his videos and listening to his videos, and he has a lot on his YouTube, in case you can't see. He's got a lot of videos, and a lot of them, at the time, I was really loving them. He was always good. There was a lot of these videos right here where he would do daily recaps of his trading days. It wasn't like it is now where he's really getting into it and having these little 5-minute videos of where he defines trading terminology and stuff and definitions of stuff. He was actually doing like daily recaps, going on his rants about how you need to study and his millionaire students. I kept listening to him and watching his videos. I would go to work literally with headphones, and I would work my whole shift with headphones on Timothy Sykes videos, just on a playlist, just going through all his videos, just listening to him and trying to learn. And a lot of his videos, his older videos, he would really push at his millionaire students and read the comments of what his millionaire students says, and then he would get into a little minute clip of breaking down a stock. But I did learn a lot from Timothy Sykes, I won't lie. I just kept learning and learning and learning, and at this time I was still using Robinhood. I was waking up every single morning right at 9 o'clock, waiting for the bell to open, and I'm trying to trade stocks with this line chart right here. Let me find one for you guys. So I'm trying to trade stocks with a line chart like that, and you really can't do that because you're not getting really any information. I started losing, and I started losing and losing and losing and just slowly draining my account. And I said, all right, every weekend I would just go hard into studying, and I would just dive into the day trading world, and just the stock market world. And I found out about candlestick charts. I started learning about candlestick charts. And then when I found out about candlestick charts and found out that Robinhood doesn't do candlestick charts, I took all my money out of Robinhood, closed Robinhood down, and I opened a TD Ameritrade account, and I started learning a lot about candlesticks. I didn't start learning from Steve Neeson, the candlesticks. I learned candlesticks from Steve Bigelow. I bought one of his books, and then he had a few videos on YouTube that I would just watch and I'd listen to while I was at work. And then I would listen to and watch other YouTubers talk about candlesticks and how to use them, how to analyze them, how to, and all that. I really dove into the candlestick charts, and learning them as the best I could. But when I started learning about them, I wasn't looking at different time frames of charts. I was strictly only looking at 1 minute charts when I was trading. And I didn't know nothing about the daily charts, looking at the yearly charts, none of that. So I'm learning about these hammers, hanging man, just the doji, and I'm looking at these 1 minute charts, and every time a hanging man or a doji would pop up, I would say, oh, a doji pop up, that means a reversal's coming. And that's how I honestly thought traders traded. I thought they memorized these candlesticks, and then they used the candlesticks to buy in and know when to sell. When a doji popped up, that means a reversal's coming, so I better sell my position. I honestly thought that's how it worked. The more I got into it and putting the puzzle together, it took me a minute to actually realize, okay, I got to put the minute chart, I got to have a 5 minute chart, I got to have an hour chart, I have to have a daily chart of the past year, and I got to compare the daily chart, the support and the resistance to the intraday chart, align everything together. And it just takes practice and time to put all of that together. And like I've said before, this is a big puzzle, and the pieces are scattered everywhere. And when you're doing it all by yourself, it's going to take you a long time to try to find those pieces and put the pieces together to make sense. And that's why I highly recommend you need a guru that's been doing this for a while to show you where to go. Because it honestly took me over half a year to put everything together, and then I still had stuff missing. I It's like you have a picture with all kinds of holes in it, and you got it somewhat put together, and that's what you're working with. I finally signed up to a trading guru, and my very first trading guru I signed up with was Deckmar Trades. What was cool about him is Monday through Friday, he would be in the market with you, and he would have his own screen up, and he would be doing commentary over the market from 9:05 to around 11:30, and he would do commentary on the market, and he would get into a video lesson with us, and then he would take a lunch break, and then he would come back at like 2:15 until market close doing commentary over the market. And then he also had a huge big video library. Let me bring up his site real quick. This is it right here. And he was my very first guru, and he helped me out a lot. He put a lot of things in perspective for me. Every day I would come here and go to his chat room, or I'd go to his video library, and I would start at the bottom and I would work up on the video library. I can't see his video library right now, but every weekend I would come home. It was pretty much, this is how I was doing it. I would go to work and I would go on my phone on the internet, and I would log into his website, and I would just have my earbuds in, and I would just listen to all his videos, as much videos as I could, my whole shift. And then I would get home, and then I would always look up the top percentage gainers, look at the charts, see what they did. And then over the weekend, I would go hard studying. I would miss family events. I would have my niece or nephew's birthday. I only got one day off a week, and that was Saturday. And then I had to go back to work Sunday because I would work 6 days a week at my job. So on my only day off, I knew that was my day I had to dedicate to studying to catch up and get ahead and actually get this. So I had to sacrifice a lot of family events to stay home and actually do this, because I'm about to be 30. I really didn't do anything all of my 20s, and I just felt like I had a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, I pissed a lot of family off, and having family wondering what's going on with me. Am I distancing myself from them? No, they don't, I don't even know if they still get it of what I'm doing. But I had to miss parties. I had to miss family gatherings to stay home and just study my butt off, because I love doing this so much. I want to be the best at it that I can and do the best that I can. Getting over that, you're gonna have to make sacrifices if you want to do this. It's like you almost in a way have to obsess over this in order to have a chance to be successful at the stock market. And that's why I'm making this video, to show you guys my journey that I went through, and to tell you guys it's not easy. It wasn't. There was many times I've wanted to quit doing this. I would take big losses, not knowing what I was doing. The biggest loss I've ever took in a day trade was $1,200, and that's just being naive and dumb, to be honest. I would get in on a low float stock, and I would get in as it was spiking. I would always chase it, always. And it took me so long to figure it out. You don't chase. And I would always chase a spike on a low float, buy in towards the top. It would pull back and start to come down, and I wouldn't sell, and I would bag hold it, and it would keep dropping and dropping and dropping, and I would have like, it's gonna go back up, it's gonna go back up, come on, go back up, and I would just sit and hold it, and it would go down and down and down and down, and that's a 400 loss, 500 loss, 600 loss. The biggest loss I've ever took on that was $1,200, like I said. The stock got halted, and I had an order sitting there to buy in. I didn't know any better. I didn't cancel it. And when they reopened it back up, it gapped up, and it filled me right at the top, and the stock instantly dropped $2 down like that. And that's how I lost $1,200, my biggest loss ever. And after that, it's like someone punches you in your stomach or stabs you in your stomach. I blew up my whole account. You know, I was only trading at the time a $1,500 account. I blew up that whole account and it was a crappy, crappy feeling. So I took a couple days off and then I went right back at it. I wanted to quit. I honestly did. I said, this isn't for me. I can't do this. That hurt a lot. I picked myself up and I said, you know what? I can do this. If other people out there can do this, I can do this. After that, it was like a kick in the butt to go even harder. So I would wake up before I would go to work, observe the market, and then lay down for an hour, and then I'd wake up and go into work 12 hours, come home, I would sit and I would look at what the market did for the day, make my watch list for the next morning, and then I would go to bed for 3-4 hours, and then I would wake up and do it all over again. I deprived myself of sleep to get this because I knew there was no way I could make excuses. I can't make excuses. I know I work 12 days. I work 6 days a week. I have to make room for this. If I don't and make up excuses, I'm going to end up working at this job that I hate forever. You know, and I don't want that. I actually want to be good at this and have financial freedom, or actually have a chance at financial freedom. I hear people talk about it all the time out here, on here. And after doing this for over a year and actually starting to have consistency of winning profits, I can actually start to see it. And all the puzzle pieces are coming together. And I can actually honestly say I can see myself doing this full time in the future on my own time and being my own boss. I honestly can see that. You just have to stick with this. You have to. You have to stick with this. And you have to, like I said before, you have to obsess over this. You really do. You have to want to learn. I come home Friday nights after work. I could just blow this off and just sit on the couch, play video games, or watch movies. I don't. What do? I get on here and I look at the charts and I see what happened for the week, and I take pictures of charts and I go over these charts. This is what I do. All of these are charts right here. Every day I'm taking pictures of charts and I'm going over these charts, making notes on these charts, putting trend lines. Every single week I'm going over these charts, seeing if there's any patterns that keep happening over and over again. And like I said, you have to obsess over this. You have to in order to have a chance at this. So Timothy Sykes was like my first trading guru that I've came across. I didn't really sign up with him at the beginning because at the beginning I thought all of his stuff was really expensive. And I will just say this, Timothy Sykes, he is a good trader, but he's a really, really good businessman. He's a really good businessman. And then the more I started looking into all these traders on YouTube, I came across even greater or better traders and better channels on here. I came across Warrior Trading, and then I started watching all of his videos and going and learning how he trades. I ran across Clay Trader. I started watching all of his videos and learning how he trades, learning from other traders, seeing what they do. That's how you are going to advance your learning curve. We got Deckmar Trades on YouTube. You have all of these really good traders on YouTube that you can learn from for free. Take advantage of it. Go on a binge and just start watching all their videos, taking notes. I filled up 2 notebooks filled with notes. I didn't ever go back and really read them, but it's better to visually see something, and it's good to write down something because you're writing it down and then you're reading it as you write down, so it's going through your brain. you're gonna also learn psychology. You're gonna learn up like brain games to help you, learn more and just study better. You really start to dive into this, and then this opens up a lot of doors. It really does. Learning how to trade has really grown me as a person and has grown my mind, and it just goes to show you can do anything if you put your mind to it. It really does. Another great one is Chat with Traders. I would be at work, and all this is a podcast. He sits down with professional traders and he just interviews them on how they got to where they are, what they do, and there's all kinds of videos in here, all kinds of great traders you can learn from. I would go on binges, watch or listening to these at work, and they are so helpful and cool. It also helps you to see what else is out there, and then they say something and you write it down real quick, and then you go home and start doing more research looking into what they were talking about, and then what they say in their interviews maybe connect with something that you learned previously. Like, oh, have like those aha moments, I would say, when stuff all starts connecting together. Like that's how that works. That works with this, and this is how that works with that, and if you put this with that, oh, all right, okay, I'm starting to get it, because you're starting to connect everything together. And the only way you can get to that point is if you keep going and going and going and going and going. A lot of people will be like, well, where do I start? Just start learning. Just start learning. It's going to open up so many doors and so many roads to go down, and you're gonna be blown away, honestly. What else we got here? There's another one, Rock Feed. I was listening to, or no, not that one. I'm sorry. So then you also got a lot of Timothy Stike's students. One of his newest ones is Stephen Ducks. And then you also got Tim Gertani, Roland Wolf. And all of these guys share how they trade, and they'll do little videos of their strategy. You got Tony Ivanov here. He's a really good one too to learn from. So you learn from all these different traders to see what they have to offer, because every trader is different. Every trader has their own strategy. So the more traders you learn from, the better it's going to advance your learning curve and the faster you're going to learn. So it's always good to learn from other traders. You also got Patrick Whelan in here. He's a good one. And he's a really honest guy. So he just, throws it out there to you guys. But like I said, it's really good to learn from other traders and explore what's out there. I was going on Investopedia. I was going on StockCharts.com, FinViz, looking at the biggest percentage gainers, trying out different products. I would try out Timothy Sykes' Stocks to Trade software. All right, I didn't like that. I tried out his Profitly website. All right, I didn't like that. Trying different stuff and really molding your trading style to your personality, because that's what it's all about. When I first started, I thought, hey, I'll just follow what Timothy Sykes is posting every day, and I'll just piggyback what he's doing. It doesn't work like that. You really have to do your own research and, find the place that you want to play, because his trading style is, you probably don't know his trading style to the T, and you don't ever want to follow somebody because you don't know when they got in, you don't know when they're selling. You just want to develop your own strategy, and that's what all these traders are here to do. They're here to show you their strategy to help show you what strategies are out there, and then you can take what you want from those traders to develop your own strategy. That's what I've done, and over time, I've come to realize I'm more of a momentum trader. And then when I learn something, I'm always open to learn something new. So recently, I've been really getting into buying bounce plays and learning how to buy bounces and perfecting that and focusing just on that at this moment. Watching videos, reading articles, staying motivated. That's another key thing, is staying motivated to do this. You really have to be motivated. You're going to notice a lot of people around you, your family, they're all going to tell you it's a scam, it's gambling, don't do it. You're really not going to have anybody around you to talk to about this stuff. But if you go on the online world, you got Facebook groups now that you can join. There's other people out there that are doing what you're doing. Talk to them, pick their brains. That's what they're all out there to do. They're out there to share their ideas, have feedback, and just talk about different strategies. If you have someone else to talk to about this stuff, it will make it easier. I don't have anybody in like real life around where I live to talk about this stuff. So I have to get online and I have to go to Facebook groups, talk to other traders that are on the online world about this. So you're not alone. You just have to reach out and message these other traders if you ever have a question. A lot of them will be more than willing to answer your question. You just have to show a lot of people too that you are dedicated, because a lot of people come into this and just expect to piggyback other people. They just expect to, have stuff handed to them. This is something you actually, honestly, have to do the work. You have to dedicate yourself to this. You have to obsess over this. You have to be in the market every single day to know market conditions. You can't be there one day out of the week and then just take the whole week off and then don't do anything over the weekend and then come Monday expect to make money. You can't. It's really hard to do that because you're not going to know the market conditions. You are not going to know what patterns are in effect right now. You have to be there to know the conditions and know what's happening. You really do. Like currently, we're at the end of earnings season right now. And so there's no volume in the penny stock world. And there's no volume, so nothing's really going up. A lot of stuff's dropping off. Stuff will pop up and then it'll fall right back down. If you're never here to notice that in the market and you come in and you buy 10,000 shares of something in a no volume market, you're going to blow up your whole account and you're not even going to know what's going to hit you. So, and it's always good to take notes. Take notes and notes and notes and notes and go back and read those notes. When I first got into trading, Bitcoin was really, really taking off. So all these stocks that were Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto related were just exploding from $2 up to $20, just making supernova parabolic moves. So when I started learning, all these stocks were just blowing up and exploding, and I actually thought this was how the market was all the time. And I didn't know about bear markets, bull markets, market conditions, stuff like that. So I went through a lot of trial and errors and actually had to learn when to trade and when not to trade during market conditions, knowing trends and finding all that stuff. And you got to take notes. I made flashcards of candlesticks with definitions and stuff to go and look through every single day to memorize them. Every single day I took notes. That's one notebook. I got another notebook here filled with notes. I have a binder here. This binder is absolutely filled I got trading DVDs. Every time I would get in on a trade and make profit, I would take that profit out and I would invest it to learn more. I would get Timothy Sykes DVDs. I would take print off notes. All of this is notes. All of this is just from learning. All of this right here. And I just wanted to show you guys, you have to apply yourself to this and actually put the work in. You really do. You can't expect anything to just be handed to you. This is jam-packed filled with information, you know, and I can go back anytime I want and I can learn all this stuff, retouch on subjects. What I do is I go over and I retouch up and learn about a study or even learn more about a subject, and then the next week I'll go back and I'll learn about something else. I'll learn about level 2, and then I'll touch up on level 2, and then I'll look more into level 2 on what I can learn, and then the next week I'll learn about candlesticks. I'll retouch up on candlesticks and then look on the internet and videos on how I can grow more on candlesticks. And it's good to break it up in sections like that, like every week focus on something to polish up an area. And the more you do that, the better you will grow. And I just want to help you guys and show you you can do it. You just have to apply to this. You really have to dedicate yourself to this because nothing in this will be handed to you. You will go through trial and error, trial and error. Trial, error, learn from your mistakes, and you will get better. The more you do this and the more mistakes you make, the more you'll learn, and you will develop discipline, patience, and just a strategy for yourself. There's traders out here that offer DVDs. Yeah, they are expensive, from $200 to $1,000, but it's something that they can't just throw out there for everybody to learn, because if everybody were to know that strategy, everybody would be doing it, and what type of strategy would that be, you know? And if just think about it, if you spend that money on a DVD that a really good trader put out for you guys, let's say it's $400, all right, and you learn that strategy, one trade could possibly make up for that trading DVD, and then you have that strategy and that DVD for the rest of your life. I mean, yeah, some of them can be outrageously expensive when you're just starting out, but that's the way it's going to be. You're going to be a cheapskate. You're not going to be, well, I only have $1,000 account, so if I was to buy that DVD, that would be my whole account. Be like, well, maybe you should just be learning right now than actually trying to trade your account, because more than likely you're going to blow up your account. Because there's a statistic, 90% of traders fail at this, and they just give up. You know, I've failed and failed and failed and failed and failed, and like I said, I wanted to quit, but I just kept at it and kept going, pushing harder and harder and harder. I knew I could get this. I would wake up some days and I would just sit there and really think to myself, am I wasting my time on this? Am I going to get this? Am I going to let a lot of people down? You know, that would always run through my mind. It would always run through my mind. Am I going to fail at this? Am I going to get this? And at the end of the day, you know what you got to do? You just got to say, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. Don't listen to all the haters out there. Don't listen to the noobs. Don't listen to the trolls. Do you. Do you. That's all you got to do, and that's all you got to focus on. That's it. You can do this. You know, and I am proof of that. I'm not really successful at this. I'm still learning and still going on this. And I'm just over 1 year into this. You know, and I could tell you honestly right now, going back and looking at my last year of trading, I've come a long way. A very, very long way. And going back and looking, I laugh at what I was doing, what I was learning. You'll look back and you'll laugh at where you were, you know. And at one point, I thought I knew the market, and then the market just slapped me across the face and put me right back down to reality. You gotta stay humble, and you gotta approach the market every day brand new and wanting to observe what the market is telling you and then react to what it's telling you. That's what it's all about. The more you do this, the easier it will get, the more you'll learn, the better you will get. Like again, it's the 10,000 hour rule. You do something for 10,000 hours, you will get better at it. You will. You just got to dedicate the time to it. So it's just over a year now, and look at me now. I'm still day trading, still trading. I'm doing better. I actually have my own strategy. I actually know what to look for on charts. I'm still looking to learn, still wanting to learn, still growing. I will always grow as a trader. I've started my own YouTube channel. I've started my own Facebook group. I've made myself a couple t-shirts. I've come a long way, and I'm looking to go bigger, and I'm looking, to make this. I want this to be the biggest thing, the biggest, and I want it to be the biggest to reach out and help other people. I'm not out here to, take people's money. I don't offer anything for sale. Everything that I make and put out there is for free, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help other traders learn, show other traders that, it will be hard, but if you stick with it and do it and put your time in, it will get better and it will get easier. And I'm just doing this also to document my journey, to have something to look back on. 5 years down the road, I look at stuff like this, just creating memories. But that's going to be it for this video. Just a little rant for you guys, another day trader journal, as I would call it. I hope you all had a good weekend. Study up. Market's coming on Monday. And I will see you all Monday morning. And happy August, everybody. Later.